Who?
Hello everyone, this is Fuzz Makeup Fuzz and welcome. As you can see, we are talking about Lino from Stray Kids. Who is he to the outside world and who is he behind closed doors? Hopefully we can kind of put the two together to see what or get an idea what his energy is willing to give us about his true personality. So let me know what you guys think of when you think of Lino's personality. But we must begin. So allow me to read you the cards of each pile and then we'll talk about what it means. So, who is he to the outside world? The Ace of Cups, the King of Wands, the Hermit, and the Four of Wands reversed. Who is he behind closed doors? The Ace of Swords, Two of Wands, the Lovers, the Sun, overall bottom, Six of Pentacles, Page of Wands, 10 of Wands, Page of Swords, 10 of Cups, the Four of Cups, and what's this right here? The Eight of Wands. Okay, so to the outside world. He is somebody who can seem very strong in countenance, someone who has a bit of an intimidating stare. Somebody when you think of having a strict program, is somebody who's not going for a lot of nonsense. That's Lino, at least on the outside. When people first view him, their first impressions is, oh my gosh, oh, he's so serious, or what if he might not like me because I'm too goofy or I'm too soft or he can see right through me sort of energy. When in reality, those who get to know him just a little bit more when it comes to the surface level see and would be able to understand that he's actually very personable, but it's on a surface level. His acquaintances will find that they know very little about him. He's not somebody who is entirely easy to read. Everybody's perspective on him in terms of acquaintance level, everybody's perspective is different. Some people might think he's the super sweetest, softest, kindest, soft-hearted person who's easily scared, and to some others, he is super strict, super intelligent, very sharp, always knows what's going on, very observant. But it seems like, in a way, both perspectives are right and wrong simultaneously at the same time, with that Four of Wands reversed, if at all. Aside from slight introversion in nature or his more introverted side, that would be what allows people to see the truer side of him and who he is, I would dare to say. So just looking at it, it kind of seems like it's difficult to grasp who he is just at a first glance on the outside, especially because he doesn't help that situation by what he presents. Every time somebody meets him, gets to know him, whatever, they are meeting a different version of him, or depending on how he's feeling, can kind of determine how he's going to act for that day. So there is a little bit of Gemini, almost two-faced, not two-faced like evil, but two-faced as in just different. So behind closed doors is somebody who is I would say very intelligent, relatively sharp for sure. Somebody who tries to think on the more positive side, could have struggled with this in the past. Someone who's a lot more romantic and loving and kind than you would expect. But this Two of Wands suggests also that he himself might not fully feel like he is established in himself and who he is. So he might have a tendency to have changing tastes or changing behaviors, kind of like trying on a pair of shoes to see which one fits you just right and looks just right and costs the right price. So it seems like he's constantly seeming to shift, evolve, and change. Well, he's trying to figure himself out behind closed doors. So, the idea to say, as I said, those on the outside, they might have a particular perspective of him, but it is indeed correct for that period of time and can indeed change as soon as the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year, the next 5 years, etc. So, looking at these overalls, of course, we can get that he is somebody who is very stimulated by creating, very creative, has a love for the arts, loves to give back to others. Like it just kind of feels like it's the right thing to do, but it's also something that he enjoys. But he carries these burdens. He carries quite a bit of burdens, but I would say especially those related to who am I? What do I want to do with myself? What do I want to make of myself? You could ask him, in the next 5 years, what's your goal? And he can give you a goal, but is that the one that truly sinks down to the core of his soul? And he believes, like, if I were to stand on a shopping block and, or take a lie detector test and say that this is the one goal truly for me forever, he might not be able to say that. He might not be able to stick to that. So the air energy here is strong. I did mention Aquarius, or not Aquarius, I did mention Gemini, but Aquarius is also relevant with this. The Page of Swords, yet again, just clever. Clever, somebody who succeeds pretty grand at what he does. I would say, if at all, looking at this too, he might find more fulfillment in adding some more depth to his life, such as entering a partnership of considerable depth, maybe even engaging in having a family someday, whether that's animals or actual physical children. That might add some depth and meaning to his life that could kind of help him to solve the answers of him not always knowing who he is, what he wants, what he wants to do, etc. Yeah, it seems like he might really kind of struggle with that depression, just in general, but especially as it relates to existential dread. Yikes. Then again, he might seem to have like the perfect combination for it. I do mention Gemini, but if I'm not mistaken, there is some Scorpio there, maybe even Sagittarius, but hey, that is what that is. I don't know. What do you guys think about this personality reading? And let me know who you think is coming next down the line for Stray Kids. That's that on that. Thank you so much for listening. Run over to my blog and read more about Stray Kids and Lino, because I've done more readings on them. And look forward to the next personality readings that are coming. If you can't get down with it, get down. Don't get down with us. And yeah.